Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blaise XPerience once again. I am your host Derreck as always, and you are joining us for episode 106 today. So episode 106, we're going back into State of Decay again. We're going to talk about Update 12 and State of Decay 2 this episode. This is going to be another solo episode. I know I've been doing a few of those lately, but we will have some guests again in the future. In fact, next week I'm hoping to finally have our DVD episode that I've been trying to get scheduled. The person that I was trying to do that with, they've been having some personal things going on lately, and it's been harder to schedule due to that. But we are trying to get ready for that. So hopefully next week is finally going to be that DVD podcast. We have it scheduled to record on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So we will hopefully record that on Wednesday and get that out to all of you on Saturday. But that's our next episode that we have planned. Our next stream, we're actually doing Civ 6 all week, this coming week. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do some Civilization 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go in with Zombie, and we're going to have some fun learning the game. We're actually playing that on Friday the 22nd when it comes out, too, but you're going to be hearing this after that stream. So basically, we're going to do Civ 6 on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then on the Friday of that week, Friday the 28th, we're actually having our community vote, so I will do a stream 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern, and the community can vote on what game they want to see played. I'll have, State of Decay as one of the choices. I'll have Civilization 6, Dead by Daylight. I'll have Borderlands 3 as a choice. Maybe some other games. I want to get back into Life is Strange again soon, so I might have that as a choice, for example. So I will throw some choices in there. Maybe some Outer Worlds if people want to vote for that. So we'll have a couple choices in there. If you want anything to be involved in those choices, let me know, because that is going to have a poll very soon for that. But that being said, that's our schedule for the next week. So 3 Civ 6 streams, 12 to 4, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And this is all Eastern time, by the way, and we have any international listeners. And then Friday, 1 to 5 Eastern. But that being said, let's just get right into it. Let's dig right into Update 12. So this, the first part of this is going to be talking about the actual news update from the stateofdecay.com website. So everything you're about to hear, I'm going to read right from the stateofdecay.com website and kind of comment on it a little bit. And then we're going to get into the bounties as well. So I took down everything that was in the bounties, and we're going to talk about the bounties themselves as well. So from the stateofdecay.com website, it says, back in the spring, the Heartland Story DLC returned to the roots of State of Decay by visiting the area known as Trumbull Valley. Now we're bringing some of the equipment and fashion from Heartland into the game for everyone here to use. Read the full patch notes here. The pack adds new guns and outfits to the base game, drawn from the story and characters of the Heartland Story DLC from earlier this year. It includes 5 new guns, 30 new outfits, and a new facility mod that allows you to craft improvised rifles for your survivors. So that's actually the first time we've had a new facility mod come to the game, so that's pretty cool. Well, unless you count, technically there's new mods for Daybreak, but the first time in about a year that we've had any new facility mods, because they did have some new ones for Daybreak too as well. So we have the Guns of Echo Lab here. Heartland introduced new firearms designed by the military scientists of Echo Lab. Those weapons were only available inside Trumbull Valley until now. You can unlock these 6 weapons by completing bounties for the Bounty Broker. And we have a restored Echo S1 revolver, restored Echo S2 rifle, restored Echo S3 shotgun, restored Echo S4 SMG, restored Echo S6 pistol, restored Echo S7 assault rifle. And I do want to comment too that the original versions of these, you could actually get them into your base game. You just had to jump through some hoops and have a friend help you, basically. So what you have to do if you want to get the original versions in your game is you have to have a friend jump to your Heartland game with you, give your friend all the Echo weapons, and have them hold on to them, and then basically go into your base game, and then have your friend join that base game and give the Echo weapons back to you, and then you can actually use your original Echo weapons in Heartland, or not Heartland, in the base game. The only difference, though, I've checked it out for, like, say you're comparing the Echo S6 pistol to the restored Echo S6 pistol. The only difference at all is in the text that is in the description. So the stats are all completely the same. The look is the same. The only difference is just there's different text that goes with the description. At least as far as I could tell. I couldn't tell any other difference. Maybe there's like some really minor aesthetic difference that I couldn't notice. But so, like for example, the Echo S6 pistol will have a description that talks about Echo more and like it being a high quality Echo weapon. The restored version will have more of a text that is about Cash, like making sure he got a restored version back to the game. So basically, in one sense, it's people that built the Echo weapon talking about it, and then in the restored version, it's basically Cash talking about the weapon. So that's kind of the main difference there. But special bonus, keep your eye out for a lootable version of Brock's Gotti high-powered handgun called the Police Auction Golden Vulture. More details in the patch notes. So basically, this is Brock's, nice golden vulture gun that you see at Heartland that can be found, and it's said to be only found in police lockers. So basically, any police station that's in your game, you have a small chance of actually finding this. It's not going to be something that is found very easily. It's going to be a rare weapon, so you're not going to see, every time you search a police locker. But in any police, lockup, then you might actually find this gun. So that's the only place, as far as I know, that you can get it. But there is a chance to get it there, so look out for it. And if you get it, then awesome, and let me know that you found it, because so far I haven't known anyone that's found it. But I think everyone's also trying to get all the clothes and stuff right now too. So I don't think anyone's looked too hard for it yet. But if anyone has found it, let me know. So then we move on to Trumbull Valley Fashion. We're adding 30 new outfits to the game, inspired by the clothing worn by the survivors from the Heartland storyline. 2 outfits will appear in your closet for free. The rest can be unlocked by either scavenging or completing bounties for the bounty broker. So we have Larissa's rumpled jacket and leather pants, 5 variants of that. We have Quincy's tattered suit, 5 variants of that. Helena's leather trench coat, 5 variants of that. Brock and Reba's leather vest, 5 variants of those. And Diana's lizard hoodie, 5 variants of that as well. Plus 5 Trumbull Valley t-shirts from Keisha's Shadow Skull to the Bronto Gas shirt. So there's a lot of new clothes to find. I actually didn't find the previous set of clothing, so I still have more on top of that to find. I think I had 10 left from the previous set to find, and now I have to find these too. So, I'm trying to work away at it and make sure I get it. And then the last part of the news for Update 12.0 on stateofdecay.com is make your own weapons. This pack also includes a new facility mod, the Improvised Weapon Station, that you can install into any facility in your base. Use this mod to craft special lead-filled bats, as well as any of the 3 special improvised rifles that Quincy could create in Heartland. The Trumbull Gatekeeper, the Network Do-It-Yourself Assault Rifle, and the Masterwork Assault Rifle. So this is really cool. It's a new facility mod you can put in there, and it's the first time since Daybreak, to my recollection, that we have any new facility mod, because Daybreak obviously had the Clio Core, it had the Red Talon Bunk Room, the Red Talon Workshop, things like that. We obviously had the Fireworks Crafting Station from the Independence Pack before that. And I'm trying to remember, I don't recall any new facility mods since that. So I believe it's been about a year since we got any new facility mods. But maybe I'm blanking on something. There's probably somebody shouting at me at home right now, oh, you forgot about this one. So hopefully I'm not forgetting any facility mods that came out after that. But Zed Hunter, I don't think we had any. The Choose Your Own Apocalypse update, I don't think we had any facility mods. I'm trying to remember if Heartland have had any facility mods either. But I think Heartland technically has the station that lets you make the Plague Busters. I think it technically has a station that lets you do that, but that's not something you can actually bring into the base game. So that's why I don't really count that, because it's not something you can transfer into the base game, so I don't really count that as a full facility mod that can use anywhere, basically. And then it just says at the end, we hope you enjoy these new additions to the game, and as always, thank you for playing. So that is basically the news update from the official State of Decay post. And now I'm going to talk about the bounties themselves. So we obviously have all these restored Echo guns. So I'm going to start with those. To get the restored Echo S4 SMG, you have to collect 10 materials. To get the restored Echo S6 pistol, you have to kill 70 zombies with a pistol. For the restored Echo S7 assault rifle, you have to kill 50 zombies grappled by teammates, which this is actually an interesting one. Basically, you have to have a teammate grapple a zombie and then kill it. You can do this solo by having a NPC help you out, or you can do it with friends. Restored Echo S1 revolver, you have to use 8 gas cans. Restored Echo S2 rifle, you have to stealth kill 7 streamers with a crossbow. Restored Echo S1 shotgun, kill 10 ferals with a shotgun. Improvised weapon station, 20 hordes killed. And then we have the couple of clothing items that are locked behind bounties. The tattered suit, battle war. Get 4 enclaves to allied status. Lizard hoodie, chameleon. You have to kill 5 play cards. Destroy with explosives. The leather trench coat, black. Recruit 3 survivors. And last but not least, the biker vest, antler star. 120 kilometers driven. So that's all the bounties we have, and some of these bounties I really like and they're very interesting, but some of them I'm not as big a fan of. Like, for example, I think the recruiting 3 survivors was a really interesting bounty, and it's one that I like. So that gives you the leather trench coat black, Helena's trench coat. And I think that was a really interesting one. I like how they're actually using recruiting survivors as a potential way to get bounties now. The get 4 enclaves to allied status, I thought that was interesting as well, but in practice, I think it took a little bit too long. It was just kind of annoying a little bit because some enclaves, they want you to do a million tasks for them before you actually get allied, and then some of them you do like 1 task and it's allied. So I think that's a cool bounty to do, but I think if it was get 2 or get 3 enclaves allied status, I would have preferred that a little bit more. Just kind of, knock it back slightly, because these bounties, I think, should be something that you can do fairly quickly. It's not going to take you, 8 years to do a bounty. And I think that one took a little bit too long for me when I was doing it. It's not like I can't do it. I mean, I've obviously gotten, a ton of allied enclaves throughout my time playing, but it's one that just was a little bit more annoying. And I think that the bounties need to walk that fine line of being fun versus annoying versus having some skill involved. So I think I don't fault Undead Labs at all because, this is like a hard line to walk where you want the bounties to be fun. You want them to have some kind of challenge to it where it's, not going to be done in 5 seconds. But you also don't want it to be too grindy that it's going to take you too long, because these aren't even achievements technically. Like, if these were achievements, I'd say, okay, make it a little bit more grindy, make it a little bit harder possibly, but these aren't even technically achievements. So it's kind of like a little mini achievement that you don't get achievement credit for. And I'm someone that wants to complete all the bounties, so I think they should, walk that line as much as possible. So I think the getting 4 enclaves to allied status, I like that as a challenge. I just say reduce it a little bit more. The other one that I think should definitely be reduced is 120 kilometers driven for the biker vest. That one takes forever. I mean, I did all the other bounties. I still haven't done that one yet because that one I'm at like 70 kilometers driven so far, and I know I'll get it eventually. All I have to do is leave it on there, and eventually I'll get it by driving. So I think that's why Undead Labs might have made it a little bit more lengthy to get that one, because eventually you're going to get it anyways if you just leave it on there. All you have to do is play the game, and eventually it'll work for you. But I think it should have been a little bit less, at least. I mean, make it a little bit of a grind and make it to where it's going to actually activate eventually just by playing the game, but maybe reduce it a little bit. I would say the sweet spot for that one might have been more around 70 or 80 kilometers, I think, because I'm at the point now with like 65 kilometers driven where it feels like, okay, well, I should have probably done this about now. I mean, I have all the other bounties done. I had that bounty activated from the second I started doing bounties, and I still don't have it done yet. So I've had it activated the entire time to try and work on it. So I think just reducing that one a little bit might have been better. But conversely, I think there's some other ones that could have been, increased a little bit. Like, for example, 5 play cards destroyed with explosives. I think that could have been increased a little bit, because 5 play cards, you can down that really quick with explosives. I mean, I think like maybe 10 play cards with explosives would have been more sufficient, where you really have to grind to get those explosives possibly. You have to, have some friends help you out maybe, and take out some more hearts. I think a cool bounty for the future would be to clear a whole map of play cards. I don't know if it's something that's difficult in the coding to do, but we keep getting these challenges, melee 5 play cards like it was to get my gun from the go bag, or, destroy 5 with explosives. I think it would be a cool bounty to actually have, clear a whole map of play cards. And I think that'd be a really interesting bounty, because there should be a way, I would think, to track that, since obviously the characters in the game always say, oh, this is the last play card, and then you get the bonuses after you destroy the play card from round. So I'm not sure how hard coding-wise it would be to do that as a bounty, but I think that'd be a fun bounty to do. Another bounty I think would be really fun is to kill enclaves. So I think it'd be really cool to have a bounty that says kill 3 hostile enclaves or something like that, because hostile enclaves, they take a little bit longer to spawn sometimes, and you have to, annoy these people, or you could make somebody go hostile, but I think it'd be kind of fun to have players take out some hostiles to get a bounty. So maybe it's like, a really cool gun or a really cool melee weapon that you can get just using that bounty. So there's, a couple ideas I had for future bounties. Some of these feel like they've been, kind of reused. Like, for example, kill 70 zombies with a pistol. I think that's kind of, pretty similar to stuff we've done before. The kill 50 zombies grappled by teammates, that was interesting. I can't really say I liked or didn't like it. I just found it interesting. So I think interesting is good in this sense, because whether I liked it or I didn't like it, it was something different. And I think that's where Undead Labs might run into a potential problem at some point, is keeping these bounties interesting. So, because we have all these packs already, we have like 5 packs already that came out that you can get bounties done in, and they're going to keep churning out more. So it's going to eventually be a challenge for them, I would think, to keep having new and interesting bounties to do in the game. So I think that, maybe as a community, anyone listening to this, maybe we could help them out and, give some bounty ideas, because even if, like, say my example for killing hostile enclaves, if that's not used in the next bounty pack, fine. I mean, but I think eventually they're going to have to use that as a bounty, because they're probably going to run out of potential ideas that haven't been used before. And I think it would get really stale if the same ideas keep getting reused. Like, for example, collect 10 materials. That's been done, several times, where it's like, okay, collect 10 ammo, or collect, 10 materials, collect 10 food. I think that's one they can kind of keep reusing in there as like one bounty, but there needs to be some variance in there, I think, to keep it interesting. Like, one of the ones I found that was really refreshing to see is use 8 gas cans. I thought that was really interesting, and something that was very different than what we had before. It's not that hard to use 8 gas cans, and it's something that you do throughout the course of the game anyways, but it was interesting to see that come up. I think, along those same lines, they could use 8 toolkits, or use 8 bandages, or something like that. Just, use some of this, there you go, you're good. So I think they can kind of go down that path as well, of using different items, maybe using different plague gears, like you had to do for the Heartland achievements. That could be one of them as well. So I think they're on the right track with these bounties, and I think they're doing a great job with them. I just think that eventually it's going to be more of a challenge for them as time goes on to make sure the bounties don't get stale. But so far, I think they're doing a great job. I think that, some of the bounties, just try to tweak them a little bit. Maybe have the QA team, test them a little bit more. Because I think, for example, the 120 kilometers driven, I think that one was a little bit too excessive. So I don't know how much that was tested, but it takes a while to get that done. So I think getting the numbers right on these bounties is something that would just come more with time. But I think they're doing a great job. I mean, the fact that, you had to drive a few more kilometers or you had to get an extra enclave allied status, it's not something I'm, upset about. It's not something I care too much about. It's just constructive feedback on my part that I think those could have been tweaked a little bit better. And, like, for example, the Lizard Hoodie, I think that could have been tweaked a little bit on the other end where you had to destroy more play cards to get that one. Because the Lizard Hoodie is one that, a lot of people were excited about. So I think that it would have been more fun to, you have to destroy 8 play cards for the explosives, just to kind of up the ante a little bit. So I think especially if Undead Labs knows, this item is going to be a hot ticket. A lot of people like this item. A lot of people want to see this item. If it's going to be a hot ticket, I think it'd be kind of cool to make that a little bit more challenging or a little bit more of a grind to get that item, because a lot of people will want to, get the Lizard Hoodie, and in order to get that, they might have to do a little bit more to get it. But that's just some thoughts I had on that. So that's kind of what we have for the bounties in Update 12, though. So I hope everyone enjoyed me talking about this. I am looking forward to doing next week's podcast on DBD as well. I'm looking forward to getting some Civilization 6 on stream. And I'm looking forward to getting back into State of Decay, too, as well. I mean, I have 22 clothing items left to get, and I have 1 bounty left. So I've done all the bounties from all the packs except the 120 kilometers driven. So I have like 50 more kilometers to drive. I'll get it done as I play the game. I have 22 clothing items left to get, so I'm slacking a little bit on the clothing items, but I will get those done as well. So that being said, just to reiterate here, our next podcast is going to be a Dead by Daylight podcast. So look out for that next week. We're going to try and do something interesting. The plan has always been for that podcast to talk about all the new stuff that has come since our last episode. And on top of that, we wanted to rank the survivors in the game based on their base perk sets. So, for example, say we're taking, Meg, for example. Okay, these are Meg's 3 base perks. We're going to rank all the survivors based on their base set of perks. So obviously, any survivor can technically get any perk, but we're going to rank them based on their base set of perks, and come up with a list of who the best survivors are if you just use their base perks. Kind of like an adept list, I guess. But our next stream is going to be some Civilization 6 on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Civilization 6, we did a preview podcast of that recently, so check that out if you have not already. But I'm looking forward to this game a lot. It's finally coming to Xbox, and I can't wait. So I'm going to be playing that on Friday. I'm recording this before Friday, and you guys are going to hear this on Saturday, so it won't make a lot of sense, I guess. But I'll be playing it tomorrow, basically, when it comes out, because I'm recording it on Thursday. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait to dig into those new civilizations, dig into the new mechanics of the game. So check that out with me on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then on Friday of next week, we're going to play whatever game the community votes on. So that'll be 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to make the poll for that probably sometime tomorrow or by the end of the weekend, basically. So by the end of the weekend, you should see that poll about what game the community wants to see played on Friday. But if you want to find us, then you obviously are listening to us some way. But if you want other ways to find us, we're on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, Podbean, Blueberry, many of the directories. So just type into your search bar the Blaise XPerience. You will find us on whatever app you want to use. And you can find us any of those ways. If you don't want to use an app, then you can go to my Discord. And in my Discord, there's a direct down links channel. In that channel, I have a link to every podcast I've ever done. So you can go there and download any of the episodes there. If you want to contact me, you can contact me via email, theblaisexperience@gmail.com. You can contact me via Twitter or Xbox Live Gamertag @Blaise XPerience. That's capital BLAISE, capital XPerience. You can contact me via Facebook or YouTube, which I don't use a whole lot yet. In the future, I hope to use them more, but I just haven't had the time to really dig into those platforms too much with the content I'm creating and everything. And, of course, I'm on Discord a lot, too. So Discord and Twitter are probably the easiest ways to get a hold of me. My Discord link will be in the show notes, so check that out there. And I appreciate everyone listening, and I look forward to getting into some Civ 6 on stream and to be back next week to talk some DBD. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the Blaise XPerience.